3.3. Find the equation of a line. So this sessions we will review how to write equation of a line by a different informations given. Right? So I would like to summarize it in this way. To start writing equation of a line, we will always use these two formula to start with it. Slope-intercept form, y equal to mx plus b, or point slope form, y minus y sub 1 equal to m times quantity of x minus x sub 1. Now, how do we distinguish which formula to use? To use slope-intercept form, you need slope and you need y-intercept. Because once you know both of those, all you have to do is substitute the slope into m and then y-intercept into b, and we are done with it. Now, if I don't know the y-intercept, or if the question does not give it to you y-intercept, the second choice will be better, which is the point slope form. That means we need the slope. We can have any points that we want. So I can substitute the slope into m and the points into y sub 1 and x sub 1. So this is how we start writing equation of the line. But the question will also ask you to end the result in a different form, which is either in standard form, that is ax plus by equal to c, both x variable and y variable on the left hand side and a number on the other side, or slope-intercept form, which is y equal to mx plus b. So this is what you need to remember. To start equation of the line, we will use either one of them depending on the given information. And from after we use one of the formula to start with it, we're going to simplify to get into one of these format, whichever the question asks you to do so. So let's take a look at on example 1. Find an equation of a line with the slope, let me move up a little bit, with the slope 2 over 5 and the y-intercept 0, 4. Excuse me. And then write the result in standard form. So in this case, we know the slope and we know the y-intercept. So I will use the slope-intercept form. So I know the slope, which is 2 over 5, and the point that we have is 0, 4, the y-intercept. So this is my what? B. So therefore, I will start with the slope-intercept form, y equal to mx plus b format, and substituting my information, which is my slope is 2 over 5 x, and then plus my b is 4. Now that's how I start. But is that the end of it, or is that what the question wants? No, because the question asks you to write the result in standard form. That means I have to write it both x and y variable on the left hand side, or and a number on the other side. So that means I'm going to subtract negative 2 over, I'm going to subtract 2 over 5x to both sides, which is equal to 4. In a lot of textbook, they will clear the fractions and they will make the leading coefficient positive. So I'm okay with this, but to be able to check your answer according to the textbook, and if I clear the fractions, I multiply everything by 5, negative 5 technically, to get rid of that negative in the front, so that will become positive 2x minus 5y equal to negative 20, which is basically I multiply every single term by the LCD, which is negative 5 in this case. So this is also the answer. So you can put either or. I accept both on the test. Next question. What if I give you the graph of a line and asking you to find an equation of a line in slope-intercept form? So once we have a graph of a line, we can easily find out the slope, which we talked about in the previous section. And then we can use a point. So in this case, my y-intercept is a very good point right here. Okay, I'm going to use that. And then another point will be right here, which to be able to find out my slope. So what is my slope in this case? So I will count from left to right. So that means it will go up 1, 2, 3 units. So go up 3 units. And to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So that means my slope will be 3 over 4 for this line. And I have, see that I have so many points to choose, but the easiest one will be choosing the y-intercept, which is a good point. So 0, comma, negative 0, comma, negative 2. So that gives us my slope, and b, which will give us y equal to mx plus b, formula to start with it. Okay. So substituting the slope for m, that will be y equal to 3 over 4x, and substituting b with negative 2, so plus minus negative 2 will be minus 2. And the question wants you to put it into slope-intercept form, which is in this format. We are done. Now you might have a question: what if my y-intercept is not a good point? Means it's not integers. Then you're going to have to use a different point, like this point. You can use this point. And then you plug it into point slope formula to continue with it. Okay? So let's move on to the next example. Example 3. So find the equation of a line with slope negative 3 and y-intercept. Oh, okay, here's a typo. Cross out y-intercept. Okay. Find the equation of a line with slope negative 3 and the point 4, negative 7. And write the result in slope-intercept form. So in this case, 4, negative 7 is not a y-intercept. So we have a point and a slope. So my slope is negative 3 and the point is 4, negative 7. Since this point is not a y-intercept, I'm going to use the other formula to start the problem, which is y minus y sub 1 equal to m x minus x sub 1. That is point slope form. Then we're going to plug it in the informations. Y minus my y sub 1 will be negative 7 equal to negative 3 x minus my x sub 1 will be 4. And we want to put the result in slope-intercept form, so we're going to have to simplify and write it as y equal to mx plus b format. So simplifying on the left hand side, that become y plus 7 equal to, distributing on the right hand side, negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 4 will be plus 12. And finally, subtracting both sides by 7, That will give me y equal to negative 3x plus 5. And this will be my slope-intercept form and final answer for this equation, this example. Next, this time I give you 2 points on a line. Right? Find an equation of a line that contains the points -2, -4, and 1, -3. Write the result in slope-intercept form again. So whenever we're looking for the equation of a line, slope is a must that we need to know. So therefore, on this problem, it's given to you 2 points, but not the slope. But however, if we know 2 points, we can find out the slope, which is from the previous sections, right? So the formula for the slope will be m equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So I can say either one to be my x sub 1 and y sub 1. So as usual, I will choose the first one to be x sub 1 and y sub 1. Then, substituting it correctly, so that will be my y sub 2 is negative 3 minus my y sub 1 is negative 4, and my x sub 2 is 1 minus my x sub 1 is negative 2. So this gives us 1 over 3. So now I got the slope. Now you have a choice of choosing which point you want to use to continue. Right? So notice that the first point has a both negative symbol, right? Negative sign. So I will use the second point so that hopefully make less mistake. But in the end, no matter which point you use, you will come out the same line, the same equation, because both of the point is on the same line. So now I'm going to use the slope 1/3, and at the point 1, -3, since the point is not y-intercept, we will start with point slope formula, which is y minus y sub 1 equal to m times the quantity of x minus x sub 1. That's the formula for point slope form. Right? So substituting accordingly, so that will be y minus -3 will be my y sub 1 equal to the slope is 1/3 times with x minus x sub 1 is 1. And remember, not this one because we choose the point to be 1 and -3. Okay? So finally, it will be y plus 3 equal to 1/3 times x is 1/3 x. 1/3 times -1 is -1/3. And we want to put it into slope-intercept form, so I will be subtracting 3 to both sides. So it will be y equal to 1/3 x minus 1/3 minus 3, which will give us y equal to 1/3 x negative 10 over 3. And this will be my final answer. Continuing the next example, we want to find an equation of a line that contains the points 5, 1 and 5, -3. So first, we know 2 points, but we don't know the slope, so therefore we have to find the slope first. Using the formula, m equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So this gives us this is x sub 1 This is y sub 1. So this gives us negative 3 minus 1, 5 minus 5, which give you negative 4 over 0. That is equal to undefined. Now, we cannot use this undefined to plug it into either formula to begin with. So you have to remember what I mentioned about it in the previous section, in the slope section. When the slope is undefined, this tells us we are talking about vertical line. Right? We are talking about vertical line. So right away, you have to remember the equation form of vertical line, which is x equal to a number k. So that is something that you need to remember right away. Connection. So now we know that this is a vertical line, so it'll be x equal to a number. But what number? We know that a vertical line, all the x coordinates are the same. So if you look at the points, here's 5, here's also 5, the x coordinate. So therefore, the equation must be x equal to 5. So that's how we got it. Now, a short way to do this kind of problem is recognizing, since in the beginning your order pair, both of your order pair has the same x value, right? The same x coordinate. Then you can write down the equations right away. You don't even need to find out the slope and then figure out this is a vertical line. Okay? So moving on to the next example, example 6. So example 6 is finding the equations of a line parallel to negative 3x plus 1 and contains the point 4, 2. So now we are talking about two lines, right? We want to find equation of the line, that's one of them, which is parallel to the second line, line 2. So you have to remember, if line 1, if two lines are parallel, their slope are the same. So we know that line 1 is parallel to line 2. So that tells you we have the same slope, right? We have the same slope. So we want to find out the line 1, but we only know so far the line 1 contains the point 4, 2. Line 1 contains the point 4, 2. What about the slope? That's a question mark. Since line 1 and line 2 are parallel, they have the same slope. And I can find the slope of line 2 from this equation. So finding the slope of line 2, I put it into slope-intercept form, y equal to adding 3x on both sides, which tells me the slope of line 2 is equal to 3. Since they have the same slope, the slope of line 1 must be also equal to 3. Now I have enough information to look for the equation of line 1. So I know the slope, I know a point, so I'm going to use point slope formula, which is y minus y sub 1 equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Okay, x minus x sub 1. So substituting correctly, y minus my y sub 1 will be 2 equal to, the slope is 3x minus x sub 1 will be 4. And we want the result in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to have to simplify the left-hand side and right-hand side, which is distributing on the right-hand side will be 3x minus 12. And then adding 2 to both sides, that will give me y equal to 3x minus 10, which will be my final answer. So we found the equation of the line, which contained the point 4, 2, and also parallel to this line. Next example, and which is the last one. We want to find the equation of the line perpendicular to another line, which is giving you the equation y equal to 1/2 x minus 3, that contains the point 6, 4. So we are interested in finding the equation of a line. That's my line 1, the equation that we're looking for. And it is perpendicular to the second line. So recall, if two lines are perpendicular, their slopes are negative reciprocal. Okay, negative reciprocal. So here's my line 1 perpendicular to line 2. So line 1, we have a point that is 6, 4, and we need to know what is my slope. We don't know the slope, I'll never give it to you. But we know that line 1 and line 2 are perpendicular, so the slope of line 2, we can get it from this equation. So the slope of line 2 is negative 1/2. Oh, my bad, sorry. I mean 1/2. So if they are perpendicular, the slopes are negative reciprocal. Right? Negative reciprocal. So that means my slope 1 will be equal to negative reciprocal of slope 2, which is reciprocal of half will be 2 over 1. So which is negative 2. Now we know the slope and we know the points, so I can use the point slope formula to continue the problem. So y minus y sub 1 equal to m times quantity of x minus x sub 1 close parenthesis. So y minus my y sub 1 is 4 equal to negative 2 times x minus 6. Now we want the result in standard form, right? So we have to write both x variable and y variable on the one side of equation. So y minus 4 is equal to negative 2x plus 12, distributing negative 2. Now I'm going to add both sides by 2x, so it'll be 2x plus y minus 4 is equal to 12. And then I'm going to add both sides by 4, so that will give me 2x plus y equal to 16, and this will be our final answer of this equation. So you have to remember, when two lines are perpendicular, their slopes are negative reciprocal right here. Okay, and that will be the end of this section.